Well, welcome everybody, and we're excited to have you. We're waiting for families to join us both here and on Facebook. We're so glad to have you join us for the first webinar of the summer. And we welcome all of our new Blazer families. We've had the opportunity to meet many of you already, and we look forward to meeting the rest of you as the summer progresses. And so as we allow families the opportunity to join us both on Facebook and here via Zoom. Uh, we just want you to get comfortable. We know it's lunchtime, so bring your lunch. No worries. We can't see you, but we definitely can hear you if you have your questions at hand. So I will be monitoring and I'll be your moderator today. My name is Carmen Navoa, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Family Engagement. And we are delighted to have with us Talisha Hallman today from the Vulcan Materials Academic Success Center. And so while we do our webinar, Talisha will be talking to you about all the services and support systems that are in place for your student to ensure their success. And I will be monitoring both Facebook and our Q&A here on Zoom for questions. So feel free to drop your questions at any moment, and then we'll get to those questions at the end. Also, you will get a survey after the webinar to let us know, how we did, what else we can help you with, and if there's any additional questions that you have. So without further ado, Talisha, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Carmen, and thank you for this opportunity. Again, I'm Talisha Holloman from the Vulcan Materials Academic Success Center. Our director is Andrea Pound, and we also have an assistant director of advising, Ms. Stacy Green. I serve as the assistant director of academic support. Our overall goal is academic success, student success. And we understand here at the Vulcan Materials Academic Success Center, known as VMASC, success doesn't happen by chance, right? There's vision. We have a vision. Where do we want to be? Our end result, our goals. That takes planning. With the plan, action, the result is success. And these are all steps that happens prior to success. And here at VMASC, our goal is to help you every step of the way as students here at the university. The Vulcan Materials Academic Success Center, our overall goal, degree completion, student retention rates, degree completion. We want to see everyone that enrolls at UAB graduate, and our role is to partner with you as academic support to do that. The services offered are exploratory advising. Exploratory advising is for not just for undeclared students, and we'll talk more about that. We offer peer partner. These are students that are successful here at the university. You can have a one-on-one appointment with a peer partner. They can study with you. We'll talk more about that as well. Tutoring, supplemental instruction, study hours, and academic success coaching. Exploratory advising. VMASC advises undeclared students on their way to exploring a major at UAB. We also advise students who wants to know more about other majors. Students who fall under one of the following undeclared statuses are served by an academic advisor within the VMASC. That's general undeclared, undeclared engineering, undeclared biomedical science, and undeclared healthcare management. Tutoring. We offer tutoring in some of our most rigorous courses here on campus. So a lot of our courses are the 100 level courses where sometimes students would like a more intimate approach or would like extra support. You can have 3 tutoring appointments a week, and they are 55-minute sessions. It's totally free. It's here on campus for your convenience. We target biology, chemistry, math, psychology, and sociology. We have 2 locations, VMASC office and the off-campus location. In the fall, we will also have a 3rd location with student engagement and enrichment. Students can make a tutoring appointment through BlazerNet by clicking My Tutor. What is significant about booking a tutoring appointment with one of our tutors is that you get to pick a day and time that works best for you. When you log into BlazerNet, your portal is specific for you. So it's only going to show the courses that you are currently enrolled in that we offer tutoring in here at the university. Again, you pick the day and time that works for you. These are 55-minute sessions. You can have 3 sessions a week per course that we offer tutoring for that you're taking that semester. Our research shows, well, our data shows that students that have at least 4 tutoring appointments, the possibility for the D, F, W, or I fall significantly, mostly down to 0% with at least 4 tutoring appointments. So that is one of the ways that we support student success by incorporating tutoring here at VMASC. The courses that we offer tutoring in, we have a biomedical science course, the BMD 315 we offer tutoring for, in biology, starting with Bi 101, Bi 116, Bi 115 as well, especially students that are going into the nursery major. That Bi 115 and Bi 116, we have great support here for that course. Bi 123, Bi 124. Also, chemistry. Your chemistry courses, starting at Chem 105, we go into Chem 460. We support healthcare management with HCM 360, statistics for managers. And for mathematics, we start with Math 098 all the way to Math 180 statistics. I tell students all the time, students that are taking Math 098, I highly recommend tutoring, but I don't want students to think, well, tutoring just means I go to tutoring if I'm failing. I go to tutoring if I don't do well on a test. Tutoring also builds students. It helps maintain students. So most of our students that come into our office have the GPA that's over a 3.0, but they want to maintain that and they want to stay competitive on campus, especially in some of our most demanding majors that require higher GPAs. So it doesn't mean if you're here for tutoring that a student is particularly struggling in a course. It may just means I want to build my self-efficacy. When I work with this tutor, I feel better about how the work that I'm doing for my course. So just keep that in mind. So if we see you in VMASC, we just know that you're another fellow Blazer that's working towards your degree. The peer partner, this is a peer-to-peer session. Yes, they also are 55 minutes long. And this is when a peer works with a student. Just say you want someone to help you study. You have created some index cards that you would like to go over. Well, your peer partner can have a session with you and help you study as well. They can also provide insight on note-taking skills, exam preparation, study skills, time management, text engagement. I want to say all of our services for tutoring and peer partner, you can schedule online or in person as well. I recommend peer partner for strengthening as well. However, if you would like a more individualized plan, then that's catered to your needs, we highly recommend our academic success coaching for academic support. Our academic success coach utilizes research-based strategies to promote the following: goal setting, academic skills, academic workshops. She provides, and this is Ms. Laurice Talbert, she provides workshops across campus. Time management skills and self-efficacy, building self-efficacy. I recommend students that you're coming in, this your first semester, or at the beginning of every semester, make an appointment with a success coach here. Allow them to work with you to create a time management plan. When we create a time management plan, never fear it's not going to be a time management plan that just you're studying 3, 4 blocks an hour. And some students think when they attend a university, that's a realistic goal. Well, we know that's not what the research says. The research says that the brain learns best in chunks. So when we create a time management plan for you, we're considering the other variables in your life. We're considering how many courses you're taking and the study time that's needed. So keep us in mind. I say at the beginning of every semester, make an appointment. At the very least, make at least one appointment with our academic success coach to get a time management plan and also to set a goal for the semester. Okay. One of the next piece would be as you're in the semester, you want to look at your study skills, note-taking skills, have an individualized plan that works for you, make a success coaching appointment. The overall goal is to promote student success, and that is what the academic success coach is here for. You can hear the name, success coaching, to coach students to success. And you can schedule those appointments. You can have more than one success coaching appointment a week. Some students may want to check in once a week. Yes, because it builds self-efficacy. Let's overview. How did you approach your studies last week? What was your, how did this particular quiz go or an exam? So you have someone here at the university that's designated to help support you in the area of targeting your goal, which is degree completion. Our success coach appointments can be made online and in person. Study hours. We love this part about VMASC. Students come in and they find a cubicle that they would like to study in. They bring their food, they bring their beverages, and they check in for study hours. We have laptops here. If students would like to check out one of our laptops that they can use while they're here, we have that here as well. Many student organizations, which I think is a great initiative, one of the ways they support their peers by saying, hey, you need to have so many study hours a semester. And we find our fraternities and our sororities have adapted this into their culture, which is just great. And so students come in, check in for study hours, check out once they leave. They can always call our office and say, hey, can you give me a total of the hours, study hours of our organization? Or individual students can request, could you please give me the number of study hours that I've been in this semester? And we can provide that for you. So study hours is a great initiative. This is a student-friendly environment. We host many activities for students throughout the semester. We are always thinking about how we can best support students. If there's midterms or finals, check us out. Come in for study hours. We are available for you. A very lucrative program that we have is supplemental instruction. I can't say enough about the students that lead our supplemental instruction initiative. This is unlike tutoring, this is a small group session that takes place outside of the lecture. These students have been handpicked by the professor. They've taken the course before. They've made an A, they've excelled, and the professor has said, this is a model student that I would like to lead other students on how to be successful in our course. And here I have Mel Wilson, who's here. He's one of our supplemental instruction leaders for one of our biology courses. That was by 261. I want to say by 261, and Taylor, he's graduated. But the work they do with students, our data, comparison data proves it, it shows it. Students that go to at least 4 SI sessions have a letter grade higher than students that do not. The DFWI, which is the DF letter grade, a withdrawal, or incomplete, drop significantly when students attend this session. And the more the students attend the session, the higher the letter grade. So it's led by peers. These are free sessions. How will a student know they that their course offers supplemental instruction because when they go to their UAB Canvas shell, they will see an additional course that will say SI. I highly recommend every student to join that SI Canvas shell. Those Canvas shells are rich with extra supplemental material to help students outside the classroom. For like example, our by 116 human physiology course this summer, the professor who's teaching it has already given supplemental materials for the SI leader to share with the students outside of the lecture in the SI sessions, in addition to what the professor is already doing in the class. So again, this is another opportunity to take advantage of the academic support that's provided free here on campus. So at this time, supplemental instruction is my biology courses, computer science, kinesiology, and math. And this program is continuing to build and grow. So I would say by the fall, you can check in back with us. But as I said before, you'll know if your course offers supplemental instruction because you'll see an additional course that reflects the course you're taking. For example, if it's by 115, you'll have a by 115 by the professor, and then you'll have a SI by 115 in your Canvas shell. And again, our data basically aligns with the international, just not just the national data, but the international data. Students that attend tutoring supplement instruction have a letter grade higher than students that do not. So I mentioned some of the activities that we have or events that we host in the VMASC. I recommend following us on Instagram, following us on Facebook to keep up abreast with our initiatives to promote student success. We are located in the Mervyn Stern Library. And our telephone number, we can be reached also at 205-934-8184. And our web address is here. And always feel free to send us an email. For academic help, academic support, you can scan our QR code, and it will also allow you to schedule an academic success coaching appointment and schedule a tutoring appointment as well. To follow us on Instagram, again, you can scan this QR code, please do. I will say some of our events, one of our most talked about events is the Major Discovery Fair that we're looking forward to in the month of October. So follow us on Instagram for that. And we have a big welcome week when you all come back to campus. We'll have a major event for that as well. But again, keep us in mind. It's midterms. Let's find out what VMASC is doing. If it's finals, find out what we're doing because we're working to ensure that we are equipping you all with the tools to be successful for academic support, academic advancement, mostly student success, ensuring your student success. Any questions?
Thank you, Talisha. This is wonderful. Can you put your information slide up? We do have a couple questions from families. If your student can contact you or email you. So here's the information. We did have one question. If we have a couple, and we want to thank you all for submitting your questions. So you can submit your questions via Facebook and also here via Zoom. So I'm looking to both screens to see. So one of the questions was, can students meet with you to ask questions before the fall? So the contact information is here. And so send Talisha an email, and if you have any questions, I think that's a great way to prepare for the fall, especially if
Yes.
you're transitioning to the university, whether you're a transfer student or a freshman. It's always good to kind of know what to expect. And I think VMASC has that wonderful resource for all students and families. If you as a family member have a question, encourage your student to ask the question, but you also will be able to do so. Anything else you want to say about that? How soon, once they know what classes they're taking, or what would you suggest?
Thank you. I highly encourage students to make an appointment with us for time management. Yes, when you know what classes you're taking, that will help us better create your time management plan because we look at that when we're creating your plan. So as soon as you know what classes you're taking, make an appointment with us. If you would like to just do goal setting before the time, we do goal setting before time management. So you don't know what type of classes, what your schedule will look like, but we can do an intake goal setting plan with you as well before you have your courses.
And a great follow-up question is, for first-time freshmen, this is new, not just for the student, but also for family members. And as much as we're encouraging independence and families advocating for their students, but making sure their students advocate for themselves, the question has to do is along the lines of, would you recommend first-time freshmen to come to the meeting with you with their parents? And so before you answer that question, I do need to remind parents about FERPA. And so if you're there with your student, I'm sure if your student's okay with that, that's okay. But sometimes information will only be disclosed to the student. So Talisha, what would you say? What would you recommend for first-time freshman families? Should they join the student or allow the student to kind of take the initiative?
I think it's a good idea for the parent to promote it and to encourage students to make those appointments. I think it's really good for the student to meet with the success coach, basically one-on-one with the success coach to create that individualized plan. When we're creating that plan, we do look at the goal intake, the goal setting, but we also look at the strengths of the students and we look at how we can improve. And so we create an environment for students to have that liberty to express that. And so we want to build that rapport with the student so we can help the parent as well. So we know we're the ones a lot of times that are on campus with the student when parents are at home. So with academic success coaching, we're also trying to build that relationship. So if we can have the parents to encourage students to make the appointment. And then once in the appointment, we can build that relationship so students can remember, okay, you know what, Miss Larice really helped me with that time management plan. And we get this all. I'm going to go back to Miss Larice. There has been instances where I've had parents to kind of encourage and kind of be like in the background. But once the students start coming, the student was like, Miss Holloman, that time management plan was everything. Can you make me another one? Like, so yes, encourage the student to build a relationship with us so we can support the parent. I know the parent overall goes for the student to be successful, same as us. Encourage the relationships that we can build that relationship with the student.
I think along those lines, something that is helpful as families support their students is also to help the student prepare for this meeting. So you may not be able to attend with the student and be sitting there with the student, but talk to the student or help the student kind of put their thoughts in order. What do I want to ask? What areas do I feel I need support in? And as family members, let the student kind of take that initiative of what is it that I need help of? How can I ask the question? And then when they have the plan, have the conversation beforehand to say, so share with me what they said. That not only helps you be in the know, but it also helps the student kind of review everything that was said to make more sense of it. And so to have that plan in place. And if there's other questions that come up, they will be able to answer them. But these are great questions. And I love that families are, already being very supportive. The other question has to do more around the area of undeclared general studies. So if a student comes in undeclared, and I think this is more of a advising type of question, but I know it has to do also with the core curriculum. The classes that the student is advised to take as a freshman, will all of those credits count for a potential degree once the student chooses a degree? And I think this has to do more with the core curriculum. And so,
So
yeah.
the major goal of our advisors when they do work with a student that's undeclared, number one, they try to ensure the students are taking classes that are transferable to the degree. So what we do is when students taking the core curriculum with us, we just try to make sure that it transferred to the degree of their choice. And for the most part, students will have some type of desired degree. And so they can talk to their
Mhm.
advisor about it, and then they'll help better gauge them as well as to what math they should be taking or what science they should be taking. But mostly, generally, they always look at a course that's going to transfer to the degree because that's our goal. Our goal is for students to leave our office and to declare a degree. So, yes.
Yeah, and it may take, sometimes students come in undeclared, and I know family members are concerned that, there's no, there's no major has been declared. But I think one thing that is also useful to help families understand and help the students is there are so many resources at the university, and I'm going to talk about maybe student involvement and leadership to discover interests and to kind of pursue would I be interested in this field? And so I think UAB has that in place as well to get an idea of what different areas of study look like or what career paths look like. So I would also encourage students to visit the career center or start thinking about what do I like? What areas do I like? If I am not willing to be an engineer, well, what other areas are there? So would
And
you have
the
any thoughts on
student
that? Hmm.
Yes, the students will also, as undeclared, take a course. They'll take one of our UASC courses, and those courses are basically gateways for students to explore majors and to explore career as well. And we do work with the Career Center within those courses as well. So our goal is for students to come in, see what we offer, explore those majors, and then declare. Because sometimes students don't know which way to go, and that's a big part of our advisor role is to help students kind of navigate what are their personal strengths and how those personal strengths convey to a degree.
That is
Um,
that is true. And sometimes students have so many interests, they don't know which way to go. So this is it's great. So I think as we're narrowing and winding down, if there's any additional questions, please put them in the Q&A button, or submit them through Facebook. I'm looking both ways to see if there's any questions coming in. But I think the information, the contact information is here. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, if your student has any questions. Share this webinar or review it with your student later to see, to help your student understand all the resources that will be available once they start their career at UAB. I know some freshmen are starting to take some classes in the summer. Are there any tutoring options right now that students could take?
Yes, we have tutoring in our math courses, some of our math, biology, and chemistry courses. We also have supplemental instruction for the summer as well in some of our courses. So please send us an email if you're unsure. For tutoring, of course, it'll show in your portal when you click My Tutor, but feel free to email our office or call our office at any time for any academic support that's related to your needs, tutoring, SI, or exploratory advising. Call us or email us. We encourage that, so please do. But we do have support for the summer.
Excellent, excellent. So I don't see any more questions coming through, but again, if you have any questions at some point, and there's always questions that come up as your student is now thinking about what courses to take, what interests they have, please make sure to reach out to VMASC and the Success Center. And also, if you have any questions, you can also email them to families@uab.edu, and we will be glad to channel any of those questions to the appropriate departments, offices, or resources. So we really thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your lunch, or I hope you enjoyed your lunch while you lunch and learn. So, and we do
Yeah.
want to invite you to our next webinar, which will be campus safety next Thursday. You can look at all the webinars that we have lined up on the Family Hub. And before we go, Talisha, are there any last minute tips or anything that you would like to leave families with?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you. I would tell students as you approach your learning this semester, just keep in mind that the brain learns better by spacing. So don't Don't have cognitive overload. Make sure you just got a good time management plan. Again, that's another, make that appointment for time management. Keep that in mind. Make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Make sure you are getting your sleep at night. And keep VMASC in mind as you're on your academic journey because we're here to support you.
And before you go, we did get one last question. When students are in the unfortunate situation that they may be struggling in a class, often students may wait and may say, oh, I'm gonna push through this and I'm gonna get it. How soon, when they feel they're struggling, should they seek tutoring or that supplemental instructions? And how can families encourage their students to do so? Because sometimes families are the last ones to find out until final grades come home.
Thank you for that. That's a great question. For courses that have supplemental instruction, those are our courses that have been deemed most rigorous across campus. If a student is in a course that offers supplemental instruction, by the second week of class, a student should be in supplemental instruction. What we find is most often students that are going to supplemental instruction courses to our sessions, they're the ones that are excelling. But I want students to know that this is a welcoming student environment. If a student is struggling, the purpose of the SI session is for all students to come together, collaborate, and work together. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to an SI session. I feel like there's going to be people that are excelling further and that it's going to go maybe over my head. No, that's not supplemental instruction. Supplemental instruction is saying, guys, we're in this together. This is what we're learning. We're going to look at this content, this course, from a different set of lens so we all can understand and work together. So it's what I find is even with our tutoring here in VMAS, it is a community. It's finding your community. When you go to an SI session, you're building relationships. And we know that the more we feel connected across campus, the most likely that students are going to stay here and receive not just the degree, but what we're going to do after the degree and building these long lasting friendships. So, yes, you're going to learn in those SI sessions, but you're going to build relationships. And what it's going to do is promote self efficacy. So, I definitely say, um, don't feel, use the services, tutoring as well. It's here to help students. Don't shy away from it. I say within I always tell students the first we start tutoring the week after ad drop date. So the class the students are in, they're secure, they're locked in. Make an appointment that week. Once you know you're locked in, because that first week your tutor is going to get to know you. You're going to write a goal. They're going to look at where you are foundationally, and you guys are going to sit together and write a plan and say, this is where I want to be by midterm. This is where I want to be by finals. So by the after ad drop week, make a tutoring appointment. So I would say
Yeah.
second week of school or so, be in tutoring. Yes.
That is a great recommendation. That is so encourage your students not to wait. Once they know, again, remember, we're all in this together. What we want is your students to be successful and to pursue not just an interest, but their career goal and be fulfilled in what they do after college. So UAB is very invested in that, and so is VMASC. And so we are here for you as family members, and definitely we are here for your students. So again, if there's anything you need to reach out to us for, as to how to support your student through this, we are here for you. So thank you again, Talisha, for joining us today. We appreciate all the tutors that come to our office space with the
Yes,
off-campus
awesome.
student lounge. I'm going to make that little pitch right now. In the off-campus student lounge, we have tutors that come and wait for students to come to their tutoring session. I love it because they're just there for students to come. So the resources are there. Let's encourage your students to use them. And if your students are a bit, hesitant, reach out to us, you as family members, and we can give you those tips and supports as to how to talk to your students about that. So thank you, Talisha, for joining us today. And thank you, everybody, for being with us today. And we look forward to seeing you in the future webinars. And if any family members, friends, or your student was not able to join us today, please share this. It'll be live on Facebook, and then it will be on our website in about a week at uab.edu/families. visit our website, get familiar with it, and of course, register on the Family Hub. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.
You're welcome. Bye.